What is up, internet community? This is the original Renaissance man, Devon Da Vinci.
Yes, and this is King Draco back at it again. What's up?
And right now we're going to be giving you guys another podcast of the unnamed podcast of DT Productions Part 2.
But we're DT Productions. We do a lot of shit over here. Look out for movies in 2 years. We're going to make a fucking movie.
Yeah, maybe.
We do big shit at DT Productions.
We never know.
We produce this shit.
Right now we're kind of pressed against time, so we might not be able to do a 2-hour podcast, but in the event that we can't, we went ahead and uploaded this. This may go 1 hour, maybe more. If you guys want podcasts that are longer than this,
if you guys want podcasts longer than 35 minutes, let us know. For real. Seriously. Like, let us know. You know? Matter of fact, don't let us know. It doesn't fucking matter. We're going to do what the fuck we want.
They should definitely let us know. If you guys want a longer podcast, let us know.
That's what we do.
We'll make longer podcasts. I know when I was working in warehouses, the one thing that helped me get through the day was podcasts. And the longer the podcast, the better, because I was in the warehouse for like 10 hours. And trying to find podcasts to fill up 40 hours in a week that's constantly new is difficult. So longer podcasts that upload frequently is the one that I love the most.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out to the 10-hour shift workers out there that work in warehouses. Yeah, that shit's fucking crazy. I work in a corporate office, so I don't got to worry about that shit. I work 8 hours and I get a fucking lunch. I sit at a fucking desk. It's air conditioning and shit. There's coffee. You know, some days I don't even do shit. Like, literally. Some days I don't even fucking work. Like, that's
because half the time you were a manager.
Like, listen, some days I don't even fucking work.
Half
like,
the
some
time
days
you
I
were
just
a manager,
I make my boss make it seem
anything.
like I'm working. Like, when I know he's looking, I'll like walk real fast over to an agent, act like I'm helping the fucking agent.
Right now,
I'll send him a fucking email or some shit.
Right now, what you're explaining isn't anything special.
I know it's not, but I'm just saying, it's just shit that I do. You feel me?
Well, like I said, right now you're not explaining anything that other people at jobs haven't done. Who hasn't?
People do that shit all the time.
And pretended to work harder when they saw somebody walk by.
People still do that shit. Like I know people who listen to us actually do the shit. Like, it just doesn't matter. The only place you can't do that shit at is a fast food fucking restaurant. I would say when you work in fast food, you have to fucking work. There is no shortcuts. When you got customers coming in and out, I don't think you can fake the funk when it comes to food work jobs.
You can't fake the funk on a nasty dunk.
For real. You can't. Like, you fucking around, you work at a 5-star restaurant, where is your layoff? Like, where is your time to cheat? You don't got time to fucking cheat. Me, I could sit there and cheat, literally. I could do all of my fucking work in the first 2 hours I get to work.
Well, I can't say anything about it because I've never worked like waiting staff and like worked in fast food.
I have.
I've worked retail and I've worked warehouses. That's my whole experience right there.
It's hard. It's hard to act like to not. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have terrible customer fucking service at a fast food restaurant, I guess you can slack off. But if you are a decent human being and a decent fucking worker, I don't see personally how you can slack off from shit. Like, for real.
Well, everybody when they first start working, they're always, or at least most people, when they first get a job, they're very gung-ho, want to be the best worker possible. But after a while, you become complacent. You try to find the easiest way of doing everything.
Yeah.
The way that is the most efficient without taking too much energy for yourself. Like, for instance, when I was working, when I first got a job, I would always like show up at work like maybe an hour early or 30 minutes early or something like that. But the longer I work there, the more I shave off just enough time to the point where I can leave the house, make it through traffic, and get to work at the exact time I gotta get to work.
Yeah.
Like, not a minute to spare. Like, and somehow I always find that sweet time to leave the house. And like, whereas like if I left a minute later, I would have been late.
Right. Dead ass serious. Dead ass serious.
But that is just for people that don't like their jobs.
That's true. That's true. I used to show up to my job early. I used to show up to my fucking job 20 minutes early just to get my coffee ready, get all my applications up on my computer, get all my shit ready for my day. I used to type out lists and shit for goals for the day. I don't do that shit no more. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I know the same shit's gonna happen today, or my boss is gonna change some shit, and shit's gonna fucking change. So all the shit that I thought I was going to do, I'm not gonna do. That's another thing. This is why everybody needs to be their fucking boss, yo. Because I literally go to work and I have to do whatever the fuck my bosses want me to do. And keep in mind, I have several bosses. I work in a corporate office. So I see the fucking vice president every day. And I see his boss, the senior vice president. And every once in a while, guess what? The fucking president comes downstairs and I see him too. And sometimes, yes, believe it or not, I see the fucking CEO.
Is he supposed to impress me? The fact that you see the CEO and the president, is that supposed to make me be like, oh, wow, that... interesting.
No, this is for the people. I'm telling you how much I don't like my job. No, a humble brag would be, no, hell no. I don't even see how I can humble brag when I just told you that I got 7 bosses. How the fuck? I got 7 bosses, bro. 7 bosses.
Well, you can look at it from the outside and see just how extreme your chain of command is at your job. See, most people have the benefit of working at franchises, so they don't have to worry about like knowing how insignificant they are on the ladder.
Exactly. Like they don't have to see the people that they see as their shift manager, their supervisor, their manager, and their general manager. Every once in a while, they'll see the district manager come in. Every once in a while, they'll see the district manager come in, and that's it. Me, I see my supervisor every day. I see my manager every day. I see the director every day. I see the vice president every day. I don't see the senior vice president every day, but I see him at least once a week.
All right, while y'all are so interested in this job talk, let's go ahead and get in on some stuff that, you guys might want to listen to. What about the gaming news?
There's a lot of gaming news, but I'm pretty sure they want to hear about my job talk.
I'm pretty sure they don't. I was damn near about to go to sleep my damn self.
Shitting on my job talk.
Anyway, Final Fantasy 14. Have you played it, sir?
Final Fantasy,
14.
Oh, no. I don't play online.
Yeah, I played it a little bit, but once I got to the part where you were required to do like raids and stuff with other people, like there's a certain point in the game that you get into where you have to do missions involving other people. That's when I said fuck it, because I'm not trying to I play online games to play by myself. I like to walk around with the most impressive armor and have people just look at me. Even though you only get the impressive armor by fighting other people, I get the impressive armor that a single player can get. I get the greatest generic stuff you can possibly grab.
I've never played any of that. I've never played like a online RPG, which it seems fun, but I've never done it.
Anyway, the Final Fantasy 14, the reason I'm talking about it is because they just recently came out with a new patch. And the new patch is supposed to be kind of like an expansion pack where they add more missions and stuff. And one of the characters that's supposed to be in it is, of course, your favorite bad guy, Kefka.
Bro, I thought you were going to say my real favorite bad guy. Oh, bro.
So I guess it's having a Final Fantasy VI expansion pack coming in, and I just wanted to get your opinions on that.
I don't give a fuck. Like, for real, I don't give a fuck about Kefka.
I mean,
oh, gosh.
We've already talked about this. You guys know what we feel about it. Final Fantasy VI, to me, is slightly overrated. And this is coming from somebody that's a Final Fantasy VII fan. So I know what overrated is. So y'all should really get my opinion on this. Final Fantasy VI is overrated too. And I know it's kind of like a hipster thing nowadays for people to hate on Final Fantasy VII. IGN just recently had a list of the top 100 RPGs of all time. Guess where Final Fantasy VII landed?
Where?
In the 50s.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So you trying to tell me you can name 50 RPGs better than Final Fantasy VII? in history.
That's exactly.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. That is bullshit.
Like, don't get me wrong. They had Chrono Trigger at number 1. I will agree with that. I will agree with that.
No.
To me, Chrono Trigger is the greatest RPG of all time.
So, okay, but is Chrono Trigger 50 slots away from Final Fantasy VII?
No, that's my argument. That is my argument.
50 votes away?
Chrono Trigger to me is the number 1 RPG of all time. But to put Final Fantasy VII at 50 or later is just straight up bullshit. They know they did that just to get the notoriety or something. Because the reason I know that is because their comment section wasn't filled with people actually discussing the list. It was just a comment section full of people going, how the fuck you got Final Fantasy VII at 50? Or 52 or wherever the fuck it was at? Like, you know, the fact that everybody has to bring that up to you lets you know that you're the one in the wrong.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing. IGN doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. But the crazy thing about it is IGN does know what the fuck they're talking about. They obviously did that on purpose.
Yeah. The reason I like Final Fantasy VII is personally, I grew tired of the typical setting that RPGs tend to take with like dragons and castles and kings and knights and wizards and magic and shit like that. Like, to me, that gets played out. Every single RPG up to that point had that type of setting. That's the reason why I like Final Fantasy VII. The reason I like Final Fantasy X is because their settings are so much different.
And because you love Final Fantasy VIII, because...
No, I don't like... Final Fantasy VIII would have been okay if they didn't screw up the gameplay aspect of it. The gameplay of Final Fantasy VIII is what killed that game to me. Really? The fact that you have to draw magic and never use it pisses me off.
Well, you just have to draw more magic.
You have to find a monster that has that magic first, and then you have to draw it from them.
Hey, listen.
Bro, the ultimate magic in the game, Ultima, you have to go all the way and find... Who had that magic? Was it Ultima Weapon? Okay. You have to go find Ultima Weapon, and then you have to draw that damn magic from him. And you have to get every single person in your party to draw that magic, and then never use it.
But...
I don't even know what Ultima looks like in Final Fantasy VIII. I have no idea what the move looks like.
But, this is the one thing that I'll say, though. Final Fantasy VIII, you didn't just draw magic, though. Like, they had those things to where you can make it.
Oh, you mean the items? You can turn items into magic.
Yeah, you can turn items into magic.
But what items were
your summons?
But what items were you getting from for Ultima and stuff? Those were like cards.
Pulse ammo. Irvin's ultimate ammo, I think, turns into Ultima.
Well, fact of the matter is, most of the good stuff you tend to
or it's the other way around.
Most of the good stuff you use cards for, because they would give you like 100.
And cards would give you Ultima too.
And they would give you like 100. But the thing is, you had to collect the cards. Only way to collect the cards is to play the games and shit like that. That's too much work for that damn magic.
For overall, the most important part of collecting all the cards is to get the items at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you... Because... But then you need the strong cards to beat the stronger card players at the end of the game. So...
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that's all beside the point. The reason I brought up Final Fantasy VI and said it was overrated is because you guys will have to tell me. I don't get why Final Fantasy VI is considered so great. Like, I like the music. There's a couple scenes that I really love. The opera scene is one that I absolutely love. The first section of the World of Ruin, I like, where you're playing with Celeste, who I still say is one of my top 3 characters of all time. Number 1 would be Vivi. I think Celeste might be number 2. My favorite Final Fantasy characters of all time.
Give me top 5 right now, off the top of your head.
Vivi's number 1. Celeste would be number 2. Number 3 would be... Damn, I don't know. I would really have to stop and think through the entire series because I'm having trouble thinking of, like, top 5. All I know is most of the Final Fantasy...
Okay, say one that's not in order. Like, I'm sorry.
I still don't know.
Order?
I wouldn't be able to put it
10.
in order.
Could you give me 10?
I still wouldn't be able to put it in order.
Really? I could definitely
because even though
10.
even though Final Fantasy VII is my favorite Final Fantasy game, as far as the characters, I'm not sure if I would put them in the top 5. Like, I don't know if any of the characters would make my top 5. I'm not sure.
Really?
Because
But you would have to put somebody.
Because Vivi is such a deeply like written character with all these emotions and
he's
like,
deep
things like that. He's a deep character.
He's deep now. We didn't understand how deep he was when we were kids.
Yeah. Because Celeste, she's deep as hell too. Like she's a really deep character that has a lot of backstory and a lot of motivations and personalities and things like that, and it really makes that's what makes a great character to me. And my question is, why do people always pull out Final Fantasy VI in regards to like Kefka as being the best villain? And people always say, "Oh, well, he blew up the world. How many villains blew up the world?" And it's like, okay, but yeah, he blew up the world, but what, as far as him as a character, what makes him unique?
Exactly.
Kefka to me is like chaos incarnated. He has no personality. He just does bad shit for the sake of doing bad shit. He has no motivation behind it other than I want to do bad shit. And like
I'm biased. So when I say Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy, of course, Final Fantasy IX has my top characters in it. I mean, not like my all-time, but a couple of them are in my all-time top favorite characters list. Especially Kuja. Kuja's one of my favorite villains too. Like just hands down, because it's like, I don't think there's ever been a villain that didn't know something about himself. Like Kuja got a surprise also.
Are you kidding me? Or do I have to bring up Sephiroth?
No. Sephiroth too. But Sephiroth got that surprise. You feel me? And became evil. Kuja was evil from the get-go and then got a surprise. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna die too? Like, oh, for real? You made me to fucking die? And you made this little shit, Zidane, you put him here because you thought that I was gonna fit. Like, that's deep. That's deep to me.
What I was about to say was Final Fantasy VI, to me, like I said, Kefka, there's not anything deep about him. There's not anything original. He does a lot of bad shit, but he has no motivations behind it. Can you explain to me why he poisoned the Cyan's, I think that's how you pronounce it. I never knew how to pronounce that. But can you explain to me why he poisoned Cyan's family's village or whatever?
Poisoned the water and shit?
Yeah, he poisoned the water. Why?
He just did it just because he did it.
Yes. Like, his only motivations are he wants to get more powerful and he wants to do bad stuff. Why does he want to do bad stuff? He's not original. People always try to pull up the Joker. Oh, well, he's like the Joker, and the Joker's one of the greatest villains of all time. Yes, the Joker is one of the greatest villains of all time, but he also has a little bit of deepness to him, too. Like, he doesn't do stuff that just for the sake of being bad. He does stuff that to him is considered funny.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the Joker. He has a crazy sense of humor, but he always sees the deeper comedic value in it. Like, it gets to the point where he intentionally will not do something if he doesn't consider it funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in the Batman animated series, when Harley Quinn captured Batman and had him in a position where she could have killed him if she wanted to. But the Joker got pissed off because there's no complexity to this plan. It would be the equivalent of just him coming up with these elaborate plans to do something, but then his partner's like, oh, I can just pull out a gun and shoot him. Like, that's not why I'm doing this. But the fun of it is for me to come up with these plans to try to do it. Like, that's the whole thing. Kefka, he would have no trouble grabbing a gun and shooting somebody. Like, he has no deeper reasoning behind what he does, other than being evil.
Yeah, and if you look at a lot of villains, right? And okay, I have to talk about Final Fantasy VIII. Ultima Cia and the sorcerer shit kinda is the same. They just want to take over. There's not really deep about Ultima Cia, besides the fact that she just wants to take over shit and control time.
That storyline still fucking confuses me.
It's not confusing at all to me. Like, anything you want to know about Final Fantasy VIII, I'm a big fan of it. So, I was confused when I was a kid, but now I'm not.
Oh, so you saying I'm a kid?
No. I'm saying that I was confused as a kid. I don't know why you're confused. I was confused because I was a kid. I don't know why you were confused about the story.
It's cool.
But yeah.
You're telling me I have the understanding abilities of a child. It's okay.
No, that's definitely not true. But I will say this, though. Squall is one of my favorite characters.
I don't know how the hell that's possible.
He is.
Squall is one of my least favorite characters completely. I do not like Squall at all.
Because I think that you're not realizing just how old Squall was.
I don't care. The reason I
Squall was 17.
I don't care. That makes it worse. The reason I don't like Squall is because...
How does that make it worse?
Because he's a whiny teenager now. I don't like that.
No. He was a loner teenager. He just wanted to be a seed.
I don't like Squall. No, it was more than just wanting to be a seed. He was moody as hell. He always had a bad attitude. And he had no reason to have a bad attitude.
Because why? Why was he moody? Because he was all alone.
So what?
Oh, so there
Every one of them characters were all all of them grew up in that orphanage. Right?
All the main characters.
Okay,
did,
right. All of them grew up in that orphanage, right? Except for Renault. All of them grew up in that orphanage.
Yeah.
Why weren't they acting the same way he was?
I don't know.
Okay, because he was moody as hell.
He grew a special relationship with
He was a mama's boy.
Sis alone.
I don't care.
Ellen.
So what?
He grew a special relationship with her.
So what? That means that at least he had somebody that he could have a relationship with. The other kids didn't have that deep relationship.
He's not like everybody else.
The other kids didn't have a deep relationship with nobody. But for some reason, they're still completely happy with their life.
Listen.
He's sitting here being mopey and fucking acting like a damn spoiled child because somebody he had a deep relationship with, he doesn't have a deep relationship anymore. At least he had a deep relationship with somebody.
The one flaw in Final Fantasy VIII, though, I will say. The fact that they all knew each other.
I hated that, too.
I think that's lazy story
That's stupid, yeah.
That's lazy. That's lazy to write that.
The reason I hate Squall is the same reason why I hate the post-Advent Children Cloud. They made him moody just for the sake of making him moody. Like, they did it because at the time, in the late 90s, this whole emo fucking, I say emo.
Yeah.
Emo, gothic subculture was considered kind of cool. At least in the nerd circles. Like, the gothic character was kind of like a coolish character. You had, like, the crow, and you got, like, the leather and the black and all that other stuff, and people, especially, like, I can't speak for the white community because I'm not a part of that, but it was popular among them, and especially like in Japan and stuff like that.
If I could go back to high school, I'd hang out with more of those white kids.
I don't know how you got to that.
No, seriously. No. As soon as you said that, though, I thought of the gothic kids in my school. If I could go back, I probably would have hung out with them.
I mean,
I just didn't understand them. Yeah, I'm old enough to say that now.
I mean, I hung out with a lot of white kids, too. It's just there weren't a lot of white kids. Bro.
You hung out with the gothic kids?
No, not the gothic. There weren't any gothic kids in my school. Do you know what would have happened if a gothic kid would have... I mean, no disrespect, but the black community, the kids that were on the hip-hop side would have definitely given the gothic kids a hard time. And the last thing I want is an upset gothic kid in my school. No offense, but that's just what the hell would have happened.
We didn't mess with our gothic kids at school.
I mean, I don't think we had gothic kids.
We did. We definitely had the kids with the piercings and the pants with the wide bottoms.
But yeah, I definitely hung out with a lot of white people. It's just that there weren't a lot of them. Like, I love, like, we always talked about video games, and I was a really good drawer, so I would always draw pictures, and they were always commenting and like wanting to see what I had done recently and things like that. And I wish that I would have had more of a relationship with them outside of school, but that can be said for anybody because at that time I wasn't hanging out with anybody outside of school except for you.
Yeah.
I mean, you only went to school for like, what, 3 years?
It was, oh yeah, dang. We only went to school in Yorktown.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to Liberty?
I was going to Mayberry.
That's right. You suck. Went to Mayberry.
Oh yeah, but you're the one asking me to go to Liberty. So who sucks now?
But listen. But no. So let me rewind back to the villains though. So Kuja to me was a deep villain character. Like his meaning was deep.
Let's define this. What makes a villain good?
So a villain has to be ruthless, hands down. That the one thing about Kefka, he's ruthless, but I think that's the only thing he falls under. A villain has to be ruthless. A villain has to be smart. A villain has to be smart.
Okay.
A villain has to be smart.
I'll agree with that characteristic.
Ruthless. They have to be smart, and they have to be to a point as smart as the main character, the main hero, if not smarter. It really, seriously.
And in an RPG, that's not too hard because most main characters in RPGs tend to be rather stupid.
Okay. They have to be. They have to have a reason for why they're evil. Like, everybody knows good and evil. There might not be a real good and evil. Like,
yeah, it's all but perspective.
Perspective, right? The bad guy has to think that he's either doing it because he's right,
yeah,
or he's doing it for a certain reason.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Like
it would make no sense for a bad guy to do bad stuff, and it's like, oh, well, I know I'm completely bad and I'm evil. And I'm doing this
that's
because
like a hilarious cartoon. Like,
yes.
I'm the bad guy, so I do bad stuff.
Yeah, everybody does stuff because they think that in the end they're going to be proven right, or they're going to be seen as the good guy. Hell, even Hitler, I guarantee, thought that what he was doing was for the greater good.
Yeah, and he felt like he would come on top because he was doing something good. Everybody who's evil feels like they're going to win because they feel like they're good. And everybody who's good feels like they're going to win because they're good. It's like weird.
Yeah.
But
it all depends on how your moral compass goes.
Yeah, but those are the traits. Those are the main traits as somebody who's evil. Now, anti-hero...
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Period. That's it. That you want to make a great anti-hero, make sure that he doesn't give a damn. He beats up anybody that disrespects him, and he drinks all kinds of Steve Weisers. Period. That right there. Perfect anti-hero.
Yeah, but you're super biased, by the way. Like,
why would you say that?
By saying Stone Cold. Like, because you're a fucking serious wrestling fan. Like,
that's right. Serious wrestling fan.
Stone Cold.
Royal Rumble tomorrow. I will be watching.
Yeah, bro. I could give two big ass turds about that shit. Like I could give two. You know what? No, I'm not going to give any fucks. I'm not going to give any fucks.
Here's the hope, and Daniel Bryan gets into the Royal Rumble. I hope.
I'm not going to give.
And Roman Reigns keeps his ass out of the Royal Rumble.
I'm not going to give any fucks about that. And then. So let's talk villains real quick. Let's talk villains. So
okay.
Final Fantasy VIII Ultimacia, no, she doesn't fall under those categories. Sephiroth, let's be real. I don't think Sephiroth falls under certain categories.
It depends which categories.
I don't think Sephiroth has a reason. Like.
Well, the reason he has...
I was about to say, because now I'm thinking about it.
The reason he has is because he feels that humanity is a leech on the planet. And that his mom... I don't think that Sephiroth sees his mom as what she was, as an alien that was trying to destroy, take over and destroy the world. I think he sees her as an ancient. And that humanity killed his mom. And so... they're taking away his birthright.
It's also creepy that he sees Genova as his mom. Because just because you have what she's made out of, that's not your fucking mom.
Yeah, his mom was what was her name? Lucretia?
Yeah.
The blackest Japanese RPG name you can possibly make and not give it to a black person.
His real mom, no, just because you have fucking Genova cells in you, that doesn't make Genova your fucking mom. No. Yeah. I'm going to go see Mother.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because
the beat dropped and everything.
The beat dropped. And he said, that's it. I'm going to go see Mother.
That one scene was like, doop doop, doop doop, and then just stopped. And then as soon as he said that, boom, Doom, doom, doom,
Yeah.
doom, doom, doom,
He
doom.
got scared as fuck. Like, oh, this nigga about to go see his mom. But like, no. So I don't know. Was Sephiroth ruthless?
He killed Aerith. That right there is ruthless as hell. He killed Aerith.
That was ruthless.
I mean, even though she was intending on stopping him, but still.
But yeah, she was a bad guy to him. To him, and there you go. She was a bad guy to him.
Yeah.
She was trying to stop his plan. So, okay, Sephiroth falls under that category. Ultimacia, to me, doesn't fall into that category. I don't know why she was doing it. I don't know why she wanted... I mean, she wanted to control time. We all do, though. We're not evil.
See, if they came up with some type of deeper meaning for why she wanted to, like maybe she did have a guy like Squall in her
That's
life
why
that
there's
she fell
fan
in
theories.
love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if she fell in love with a guy in the past and maybe he died or something happened and she's looking to take control of time so she can go back to him and be with him forever.
If Ultimacia
that would make
is...
for a deep character.
Thank you. If Renoa is Ultimacia, like the fan theories say, then she's a deep character.
Yeah, I think that the game director came out and said that theory is wrong. Like that's
Yeah,
not
he
how
did.
it went. He should have went with it.
Yeah, he should've
It
just
would have
went with
made the story a lot better.
Like, for real. Like, Squall died. Renoa lost her shit. And became a sorcerer. Well, she already was a sorcerer. Like, and she just wanted to control time because she can't get over the fact that he died. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
But,
And Sin from Final Fantasy X, to me, he has a great story. Like, it's a bad guy that doesn't even want to be a bad guy, but he has to because I'm not sure why exactly he has to, but
Sin has to keep coming for some reason.
I mean, my question is why? Because it's been such a long time since I played Final Fantasy X. My question is, why does he destroy? Because like, even though he came back as Sin, does he have to destroy? Because I mean, I'm guessing he doesn't have control of himself, or at least he has like he's in there, but he doesn't necessarily have full control of himself, and his body just does stuff automatically. But at the same time, he kind of like Tidus knew that he was his dad, and somehow he knew that his dad wanted him to stop him. Like Sin was able to communicate that much to him.
So Sin kept coming back, right, to protect the dream of Xanarkin.
I don't get that at all.
I don't get that either because in the beginning he destroyed Xanarkin. Like the beginning of the game started with Sin destroying Xanarkin. Like
so maybe that was the first sin and he just fucked up, and every sin after that has been trying to correct that mistake.
Like for real, and then
dude, I can't believe you fucking blew up Xanarkin, man. The fuck, man.
Like
the fuck, Sin.
Like, and then it's able to protect itself. Like, I don't really understand like what the fuck Sin is really. Like, I don't understand what it is.
I always took it as a representation of something.
Like sin, like an actual
pretty
sin.
much.
Like sins.
Like
well,
the
Final
bad
Fantasy
behavior.
X. Final Fantasy X is the most religious Final Fantasy.
Every Final Fantasy has
I agree.
Is like an allegory or something for some type of religion.
I agree, but Final Fantasy X
organized religion as a whole.
Final Fantasy X is the most religious Final Fantasy.
But that's because that was an actual religion.
It's in the storyline.
Yeah,
I was about to say their religion is in this. Praise be to Yevon. Like Yevon was like a fucking like for real.
And if anything, Yevon is more believable than the goddamn religions we have in this life. Because at least with Yevon, he had a damn monster going around that you can actually see and like, oh, well, damn, that thing came from Yevon. Hell, they even fought Yevon. Yevon was a real thing. Yeah. Yevon existed.
They did fight Yevon. It was a boss.
Like, it kills me how in video games there's always like this like spiritual being and like they're trying to destroy him. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, that's a god. Like,
yeah,
it gives magic. You have magic. It like the things that are not explainable in this life are explainable in that life because they can do the things that aren't possible in this world, and they can actually see the god, and they're still like going against him. And it's like, well, damn, that religion in their world has way more legitimacy than our religions. Our shit is just stories.
Their religion is winning.
Yeah, like our shit is just like stories and stuff. Like, hey, you can you better believe this because if not, then I'm gonna tell you that something bad's gonna happen to you. Like, okay, well, when that bad stuff happens, let me know.
You gotta have faith. You have to have a leap of faith.
See, that's why I want to go to the Final Fantasy world. You don't need faith.
And Final Fantasy X, guess what?
You need
the faith. The faith were a thing.
And
they made Titus.
Hey, in Final Fantasy, you don't need faith. You need Phoenix Downs. That's what you need.
That's what you need.
They got Jesus in a bottle. That's what they got.
Jesus in a bottle.
Juice in a bottle.
We got Jesus in a bottle.
They got Jesus juice in a bottle.
But listen though.
Speaking of which,
the faith.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. Michael Jackson didn't do it. Let's go ahead and continue.
Okay. All right. Glad you said that.
Yeah.
But Titus,
I can get into it, but we're talking about something else right now.
Don't let this distract you from the fact that Titus was just a made-up person from the faith. That's the thing about Final Fantasy X I do not understand.
Spoiler podcast.
I mean, if you haven't played Final Fantasy X, kill yourself.
Eric dies, by the way.
Like, what? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
bro, you know something that's funny, though? Sometimes I don't believe that an old game is, like, immune to being spoiled. Because in Final Fantasy VI, when I was describing the pieces of music, and, like, the scene when, the first part when the world becomes ruined, there is a scene that is very powerful, but a lot of people, I don't know if they really know about it or not, so I don't really spoil it at all. Really? You have to play the game and see it, because it's a deep-ass moment to me. And also, it has alternate routes, so you don't have to go this way. It can go a more cheerier way. But the more depressing side of it, that was a very well put together piece of game.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. And you have to play it. But the thing is, you're not really too into Super Nintendo, so you might kind of laugh at it because of the graphics, the way it's portrayed. So it might be funny to you.
You know what? That's true. that shit might be funny as fuck. But like, so I've played more than just like those Final Fantasies, but like, so Final Fantasy 12, right? Mm-hmm. I know.
Hated it.
Listen, Final Fantasy 12 confuses me.
Final Fantasy 12 confuses itself. This discussion we have about deep characters and stuff like that. First of all, I can't tell you too much about the bad guy in that game at all. Like, I don't remember anything about the bad guy in that game.
The Dynast King, his name was Vayne Salador.
Don't sit here and Google stuff and pretend like you are all deep in the story.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am not trying to act like I know. I definitely forgot this dude's name. But I do know one thing. I do know Sid.
I do know his name wasn't worth remembering.
Sid was a bad guy. The professor's name was Sid, and he was a bad guy.
Okay, he was a bad guy, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was uninteresting.
Final Fantasy 12 had a lot of weapons and a lot of side quests and a lot of strong bosses, though. That's the one thing I give Final Fantasy 12. A lot of side quests.
Okay, it had side quests, but to me, it felt like an online game that was offline. And at the time, offline games were not interesting to me because of the way they played, and that's just how I felt. Final Fantasy 12, the cast of characters, to me, were bullshit. If they weren't just a completely thrown-in character for the sake of being thrown in, they were like a parody of a Star Wars character, which also was rather
Final Fantasy 12 was definitely 100%, no matter what the creator says, inspired by Star Wars. Hands down.
Completely.
Not even close.
Yeah, like you have your Luke Skywalker character, you have your Han Solo, you have your Leia, you have all that. And it's like...
You have your Chewbacca.
The main characters that they wanted to... even though Chewbacca was a bad bitch, I'll tell you that much. Goddamn, that's a hell of a Chewbacca.
Chewbacca was cold.
But what I'm saying is, like, you have these characters, and then, like, the main characters that they wanted to make the main characters, for some reason, the the publishers or whatever didn't like the way they were designed, so they had to come up with Van and Pinello, the two most unappealing Final Fantasy characters since fucking Go-Go and the Abominable Snowman in 6, which also goes into unoriginal characters in that game. Like, I'll get into that in a second, but Final Fantasy 12, so many of the damn characters, especially those two, were just completely forgettable. Like, I don't care at all about... Only thing I remember about Van is his weird-ass stomach. That's it.
His weird stomach.
Oh, yeah, they gave him, like, this six-pack, but it looked like one of those graphics that you would get back in the day where you would, like, get a picture and you would put it on a T-shirt and iron it on, and the picture would be ironed onto your T-shirt. It looked like somebody did that with a six-pack. Like, they just took a drawing of a six-pack, put it on that weird-ass paper, and ironed it onto his stomach. Like, that's what it seemed like to me.
That's fair.
But when I was talking about Final Fantasy VI, it's amazing to me how they can go from having the greatest characters to the worst characters in one game. Like, there's a handful of characters that were some of the greatest characters in Final Fantasy history, but then the last characters are so unoriginal that they don't have any type of story. Hell, one of them don't even have dialogue. They're just like literally an extra party member for you to have. That's it. At least with Final Fantasy VII, everybody had a story, everybody had a plot line, everybody had a secret, side quest. Even the hidden characters had deep side quests.
Yeah. Definitely. But, like, I don't know. That's just Final Fantasy villain. So, the best villain in Final Fantasy is fucking Kuja. Like, I'm sorry. Kuja, to me, just has the... We didn't talk about 13 because I'm glad we didn't. We didn't talk about 15 because I've never beat it. You've beat 15, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The main character, like, first of all, the story in 15 is kind of funky. It's... let's just say I didn't play Final Fantasy 15 necessarily for the story. The gameplay was interesting to me, and I wish they had more characters, but the characters were okay. I wish there was a way to play as the older version of the characters in the younger version's world. That looks very interesting to me. If they had like some type of skin that you can buy to play as the older characters, I would
spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's probably a spoiler maybe.
Yeah, that sucks. But the villain in Final Fantasy 15,
he was okay.
Was he memorable?
See, that's the thing. He was okay, not necessarily memorable, because most of the people that like died in the story, like any of the bigger characters that died, or anything that happened out of that, wasn't from him. It was from a whole completely different fight.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure. Like I said, I forgot some of the stuff of the story. I'm not sure if he was directly responsible for that. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. It was part of a quest to get the summons. That's what it was. It wasn't... He had nothing to do with it. So, yeah, pretty much what he was somebody that when bad shit happened, he would sit there and make jokes about it, kind of. That's pretty much what he was. Like, he didn't cause any of the serious stuff. He was just there. He didn't become a main character. He didn't become a main threat until, like, you get to the future part of the story. But that's the very, very, very end, so it wasn't really that interesting.
Okay. That was a quick little 15 breakdown. 13, I did play a little bit of more of 13, so I can kind of talk about it.
I didn't beat it. I got far, but I didn't beat it.
13, I didn't like any of the fucking characters.
I hated how they try to shoehorn lightning down my throat. Like, to me, that it's very similar to Roman Reigns. I'm not. You're not going to turn this into the next Cloud. So,
yeah.
Even if you do want to call her Lightning, and like, no, I don't care.
Oh, Cloud Lightning? Was that what that was?
That's what I got out of it. I'm not sure if that's what they intended, but that's what I got out of it.
Cloud Lightning. That'll suck. Don't tell me that, Devon. Don't tell me that shit. That shit makes me hate her. That shit makes me. Don't tell me that. Take that back.
See, I can make.
I can't get that shit out of my head.
I can make all
now.
kinds of fan theories. I can say that Final Fantasy 13 was a cheap cash in on the PlayStation 1 era Final Fantasies. You got a character with a name that's named after a weather pattern that is supposed to be this quiet, somber like character that's really to herself, and she was like a soldier and this, that, and the other, and she uses a gun blade, and
oh, bro,
and
you're ruining it for me.
She has a sister that in the later Final Fantasy 13, she becomes a bad guy, and the sister has to try to get her back to the good side. And you can pretty much pull anything from those games and find some type of similarities to the PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy games.
That shit makes me so fucking
He's tapping his leg, folks. He's tapping his leg.
That shit makes me fucking mad thinking about what the fuck
how they try to cash in on your childhood like that.
And because we were so fucking hyped for 13, there was only one Final Fantasy, Devon, on PS3 and Xbox 360.
Well,
that was
technically you can say Final Fantasy 13 had 3 different entries.
Are you gonna do that?
I mean, you can.
You gonna do that?
It's just they wasted all their time on that Final Fantasy 13 story.
They gave us 3 Final Fantasies that nobody fucking asked for.
Yeah.
And then the last one, you only get to play with fucking Lightning. Oh, and she has different outfits.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
And half those outfits are outfit from older games because they know that's what you really want.
Oh, she can dress up as Cloud. Oh, she can dress up as Yuna.
Yeah.
Oh, she can dress like fuck you. Fuck you.
If they make a remake to Final Fantasy 7, I mean, when they make the remake to Final Fantasy 7, if I see a DLC pack that says dress up as Lightning, I'm going to be fucking pissed. I don't want to see Tifa dressing up as Lightning.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Cloud dressing up as Snow. I don't want to see none of that shit. I don't want to see Barrett dressed up as Hope. I don't want to see none of that.
Listen, Final Fantasy 7 and 9 are just by far the best Final Fantasies. Like, to me, 8 is... I don't know. I don't know why I like 8 so much.
For me, 8 is at the bottom.
I don't know why I like 8 so much.
For me, 8 is down there with... Let me see. Let me go to my top 10 Final Fantasies real quick, if I can do top 10 off the top of my head. You got Final Fantasy 7 at number 1, Final Fantasy 9 at number 2, Final Fantasy 10 at number 3, Final Fantasy 6 at number 4, Final Fantasy 4 at number 5, Final Fantasy... I would put Final Fantasy 5 before Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 5 would be number 6. Then I would probably put Final Fantasy 8 there. Then I would go Final Fantasy... let me see. Final Fantasy... Oh, damn. One second. Put 15 at number 6. Final Fantasy 5 can be number 7. Final Fantasy 8 would be number 8.
I was going to say, like, how do you feel about 15?
Yeah, I would put 15 at number... at that number. 6 or whatever. After 4.
What about Final Fantasy 3?
Final Fantasy 3 I actually haven't played.
But
from what I heard, it's not that interesting, so it's
not.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 are down there. You can throw 13 and...
Well, 4 was when...
Final
Fantasy 4 was basically when they started caring about story in the first place.
Yeah. And I think that's overrated, too. I think Final Fantasy 4 is deeply overrated also. Because a lot of people say that's better than 7, and it's like, hell no.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I refuse to give you that. I will listen to your argument for 6. Final Fantasy 4, we will have no discussions.
Final Fantasy 5. I've played 5.
Final Fantasy 5 is fun just with the job, just because of the job system.
Y'all about to say the job systems are good.
Unlocking or getting to a new crystal and having it break and unlocking new
Final
jobs.
Fantasy Tactics.
That's your game. I haven't played Tactics. I know that people say it's real good. I haven't played it. You played that.
I had more fun playing Tactics than 6. I'm sorry. I had way more fun playing Final Fantasy Tactics than Final Fantasy 6. That shit was fun as fuck. There's a lot of Final... You played Crisis Core, though.
Yeah. Crisis Core was okay. I like Crisis Core.
You ever played Diverge of Cerberus or whatever that is?
Dirge of Cerberus? No.
That's
the Vincent one. No, I didn't play
with
that.
guns and shit.
Only thing that interests me about that game is it introduced Omega Weapon to the Final Fantasy VII story arc. Because Ultimate Weapon was in Final Fantasy VII, Omega Weapon wasn't. So it was interesting seeing him, or it, in Final Fantasy VII.
Omega Weapon was in the game?
Yeah.
Was it the Final Fantasy VIII Omega Weapon?
I don't think so. I'd have to look it up. I forgot exactly how they looked, but yeah, it would have been interesting to have another side character or side quest in Final Fantasy VII that wasn't completely fucked up, because anybody that really knows how to play 7 could beat all those side bosses in like minutes. And it amazes me because before I got deep with the internet, I did not know that people made it this simple, and I thought that these creatures were damn near impossible.
Bro, listen, I still don't know how you beat Ruby Weapon.
Yeah, there are people out there that have gotten it to the point where Ruby Weapon won't even attack. It just sits there and gets its ass whooped and dies.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
To beat Ruby Weapon like that. I thought Ruby Weapon was unstoppable.
Yeah, I didn't know how to fight Ruby Weapon at all. Like,
I didn't know how to beat Emerald Weapon. I mean, let's keep it 100.
I beat Emerald Weapon with a Game Shark.
For real?
Yes. I just made it so that...
You kept doing limit breaks?
Yes. I kept doing limit breaks.
Yeah. Well, Emerald Weapon is... But so it never hits you?
No, it'll hit you, but, you know, you just have your limit breaks.
You just have
a lot of Knights of the Round and limit breaks.
I never got Knights of the Round the right way.
Yeah, legitimately. I did one time. I bred a gold chocobo. I was able to get Knights of the Round one time.
How do you breed a gold chocobo?
It's a lot of stuff. You got to try to catch certain types of chocobo, and then you have to race them, make them become... I don't even know if you really have to race them, but everywhere I've bred said you have to race them and make them like top class runners or whatever. And then you breed them together until you get a certain color chocobo. Then you got to breed the green chocobo with the blue chocobo, and you have a chance of getting a black chocobo. And then you got to take the black chocobo, and then you got to breed it with an excellent yellow chocobo, and then you have a chance of getting a gold one out of that. And it's a lot of...
So, there's a chance you won't get it?
In other words, please buy the strategy guide, or else you won't know how to do this shit.
That shit's crazy.
I would love to hear about somebody who accidentally stumbled across a gold chocobo without using a strategy guide or walkthrough or anything like that.
That shit's crazy. I personally don't see how you got to go chocobo in Final Fantasy 9 to get the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, I've never understood how to get different types of chocobo. I never got Garnet's last ultimate weapon, the Tiger Racket or whatever it's called. I never got that.
You find that shit.
There was some... Because she had 2 ultimate weapons. She had a staff and she had the racket.
One of them shits you find and buy.
Yeah, I think that's the racket one. Not the racket. I think that's the staff. I got the staff. I never got the Tiger Racket.
Bro, I think you find the Tiger Racket, though.
There's a side quest related to it.
Really?
Also, with the Excalibur 2, I never got that either, because that's just a crazy...
The Excalibur 2, bro, is just not even worth getting.
Yeah. Because, like, you're going to brush through the game so fast, you're not going to enjoy it. And back then, well, they had some games that had it, but a lot of games didn't have New Game Plus and, like, the ability to continue after you beat the game and start over from the beginning. So you would rush through the game, get the weapon, and be at the end of the game with this weapon, and...
Yeah.
You're going to use it for a couple fights and that's it?
Yeah, and you have to get it in 12 minutes.
Yeah,
no, 12 hours.
Yeah, like there's no real point in getting it. Like it ain't like the game had achievements or, you know, some way of bragging about it. Like you got the weapon. The only purpose of getting the weapon is to tell people, hey, I got that weapon.
Like like to me, I always planned on doing it in like a separate walkthrough. But it's hard as fuck to probably get that shit. Because... You know what? It's probably not that hard. You just couldn't grind. If you take away grinding from the story, you could probably get a lot of shit done.
You'd really have to tackle the enemies from a strategic standpoint. You'd have to really know strategies for beating.
Yeah, hands down. Like the first boss is weak to fire.
I mean, we all know that, but I'm saying like
those bosses in the fucking Gargan Rue are weak to fucking ice. Like, bro, I know.
Like I said, that's the easier stuff. I'm talking about like using certain moves at certain times and things to try to manipulate the time active system or whatever.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That shit's crazy though.
Man, we talked about Final Fantasy for a long ass time.
We could talk about.
Man, we were just winging it on this podcast, so.
But that's what podcasts are about.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to talk about just about anything. Hell, we can talk about whatever the hell we want. We can talk about Trump if we want to.
Yeah. Let's talk about the super blue blood moon that's coming up.
I don't know what the hell a super blue blood moon is. I don't care.
It's basically when the sun is in front of the moon.
That's nice to know. That's very nice
nighttime.
to know. That's very nice to know.
And the moon looks red. The moon looks red.
You want to know what my interest level is after that?
I'm just saying.
Just as low as it's always been.
I mean, I'm just saying. You asked, I answered. I'm just saying. But like,
So now they have a sexual assault case against Vince McMahon.
Listen.
I mean, first of all, Vince McMahon sexually assaulted the hell out of all of his damn divas in the early 2000s. Let's keep it real. So this should not really be too surprising, but at the same time, you have to keep a level head and accept every issue as like with level of seriousness.
I don't got nothing bad to say about women now. Women been winning, bro.
Bro, you got something. You got something to say? Go ahead and say
nah,
it.
Bro.
I'll say it if you
don't. Bro. Women.
I will say
women have been.
Women be shopping. Look,
women have been on a fucking tear, bro.
Look, let me.
They're all coming out.
Let me say this.
Nah, bro.
The allegations are, for one, are long overdue. There's a lot of people in Hollywood and places of power that have been using their power to try to get women to do things they want for the longest. And I'm so glad that women have had the opportunity to come out and vent and let people know what's going on, and consequences are coming at them guys, and not just like small slap on the wrist, but they're actually getting what the hell they deserve. But at the same time, I do believe that there are too many women that are taking advantage of this movement just to try to get even with some guy that they're pissed off at. True. And it's going to do is hurt the movement in the end, because like once you have people start crying wolf, it gets to a point where you don't know whether to take people seriously or not. And that was the main issue with why women weren't coming up front to begin with, because they felt people wouldn't believe them and nobody would take it serious. Well, if you have all these extra women coming out with all these allegations that are bullshit, then it's going to get to the point where people are going to stop taking it serious, and it's going to end up backfiring on them again.
I 110% agree. But nah, there ain't no, but like, fuck it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what exactly to say to combat it, like how to stop. Like the best way I guess you could say to stop it would be, I was listening to Bill Burr, and he said the best thing to do is when a woman accuses a man of rape or sexual assault or anything like that, don't make that person's identity public. Because the second you make his identity public, it doesn't matter if he did it or if he didn't do it. The bottom line is he's going to be found guilty in court of opinion, and everybody's going to look at him as a rapist. Even if he gets off, he's going to be a rapist. Which, to me, is pretty deep because, like I said, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I think he didn't do it, mainly because I actually looked into the court case, and anybody with half a brain who looks into the court case would see that he's innocent. But then again, with a lot of these Trump, but then again, with a lot of these Trump fans who sit there and listen to him say fake news and will instantly believe him, hey, there's a lot of people out there that will believe stupid shit.
Listen, man, men in powerful positions have been doing what the fuck they want when it comes to females since the beginning of fucking time. And nowadays, in 2018, you cannot do that shit or you're going to lose your shit. And that is the message that we're all starting to see. Like, bro, we all knew. That's why we believe all the women right now. Like, to be honest, it's actually horrifying. Because if you're in power right now, unless you're Donald Trump, because it just doesn't matter what the fuck he does. Because he still is.
Also, let me also say this. First of all, just because we talk shit about Donald Trump don't mean that we're hardcore liberals or something like that. I mean, personally, I am liberal, but I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent because Democrats are pieces of shit too. Hillary Clinton is a piece of shit, and I didn't vote for her, and I didn't vote for Trump
Bernie Sanders
either.
isn't, so you can't say that.
Yeah, but Bernie Sanders is an independent. He was just running as a Democrat.
But he was a Democrat.
He was running as a Democrat. He's an independent.
I mean, listen, I'm not anything either. Fuck Donald Trump. Wait, so I gotta be a Democrat to say fuck Donald Trump?
A lot of people, you have to say this because a lot of people will take it if you talk shit about Donald Trump. Therefore, you're automatically a Democrat-loving liberal libtard that people.
No, I hate fucking racist white people.
Yeah. And if you're offended by that, then hey, get the fuck off of our channel.
Like what the fuck?
We literally do not want you as a subscriber. If you hear us say we hate racist white people, and you're like, oh well, why would you say that? Don't get me wrong, because racist ass black people can be just as bad. It's just white people tend to be more in power.
But like,
it's just white people tend to be more in a position to make their racism affect you. Yeah. Racism affect you directly. Like a racist black person, all you got to do is get the fuck away from his house, and you will never hear from his ass again. A white person can fire you from your job, things like that.
Fire you from your job, stop you from getting fucking gas in your car and shit like that. That's what the fuck the white man can do. Like, but I mean, you know, it's just like being a racist in general. It's just stupid. And then the fact that our president doesn't give a fuck about not only black people, though. He doesn't give a fuck about black people. He doesn't give a fuck about any minorities. He doesn't give a fuck about white people who aren't rich.
Yeah, he don't care about poor white people either.
And he doesn't give a fuck about poor white people either.
And they tend to be the ones that give him the most support. But, hey, they're also mostly uneducated, so what can you say?
He cares about rich
that speaks for itself.
White people. He only has fucking Carson. What's his name?
Ben Carson.
Ben Carson. You know what? I don't even know why the fuck he has Ben Carson.
But honestly, that goes for Democrats too. They don't give a fuck about poor whites or anything like that either, or minorities. They care about rich white folks or rich people in general. People that feed their bottom line. They all take donations from people. So
Hillary Clinton spent $1 billion on her campaign and lost. Let's not let her get away.
Yeah, let's make that a hashtag. Let's push that as hard as people pushed the whole Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. Hillary was, I'm pretty sure, way higher than 3-1 against Donald Trump, and she blew that shit. So let's go ahead and blow that stuff up just like it deserves to be blown up.
Hillary blew a lead too. But speaking of basketball, you brought up basketball, so now we have to bring up basketball. Did you see the All-Star lineups?
Not really.
LeBron picked, Steph Curry picked the captains for the All-Star team.
Okay.
So, since you didn't see them,
I don't really care.
You didn't see them. Oh, you're gonna care though. You're gonna care because, bro, this is. Let's see.
Right there, 2018.
Oh, okay. I can't see. Lineups.
You're right here, roster.
Because, listen, LeBron had first pick.
Bro. Well, here's the thing. If somebody didn't make it,
look.
Here's the thing. If somebody didn't make it, they're going to because DeMarcus Cousins is out for the season.
That's true.
So one more person is going to be added to the starting lineup that wasn't originally added.
That's true. But look.
Okay, so far I'm not really seeing a problem.
Okay. LeBron picked as his first pick Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Stephen Curry picked Giannis.
Okay.
LeBron's second pick, he picked Anthony Davis.
Okay.
And then just look at the fucking lineups though. Like, okay, Steph has James Harden, but bro, LeBron has Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Kyrie. He has fucking Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a problem with this.
Bro, LeBron's team is dominant. Paul George.
I mean, yeah, technically you can't even say East versus West because this isn't East versus West.
This isn't East versus West.
So, are they going to identify All-Star games based on the captains now? So, like, this is the LeBron, Steph Curry game, and next year's game is going to be the someone versus someone game, and it's just going to keep going like that?
I mean, it's just Team LeBron and Team Steph. That's just what they're going with. And this is how many points they're all averaging.
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
I mean, but, like, listen. All I know is LeBron's team is smoking this team. And I don't know who's going to start now because DeMarcus is out for the season. So,
maybe
Russell.
Well,
They'll probably put Russell in.
it depends. They have another small guy up there. Go ahead. Kyrie Irving and
You can start.
Yeah,
they have Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis. You can start.
Yeah, because Kevin Durant and LeBron aren't necessarily supposed to be on the court at the same time, so they can move LeBron or KD to power forward and put in Kyrie and Russell Westbrook, which is going to be a devastating backcourt. My God,
bro, they're putting Kyrie and Russell with KD and LeBron and Anthony Davis as center.
They got 4 of the top 5 NBA players right now in their starting lineup. I feel bad for Steph Curry. Like he got gypped big time.
Like he got Giannis. Okay. He got James Harden. But, bro, Embiid and DeMar DeRozan don't match up with these guys.
Yeah, not to mention they could have picked anybody. So he missed out on Russell Westbrook. He missed out on John Wall. He missed out on Paul George.
Hold on. I think they added Paul George because Paul George didn't make the All-Star team.
Maybe they did. Maybe they just threw
Hold on, go back. What website is this?
This is NBA.com.
I think they added Paul George, bro.
Yeah,
because Paul George didn't make the All-Star team.
Yeah, they might have added him on at the last minute because DeMarcus got injured.
That's crazy as fuck.
Yep, anything is possible.
Paul George injured that nigga to just make the All-Star team. Yet Paul George to replace DeMarcus Cousins on the All-Star team because he didn't make the All-Star team, but now he's replacing him.
Did you hear about how everybody was saying that a lot of people didn't vote for LeBron as captain and not LaMelo, I'm tripping. Lonzo Ball, he had a lot of fan votes, but hardly nobody in the league voted for him.
Yeah. Because that's bullshit.
He's like the kid sitting at lunch by himself. And, like, he just wants to be loved, but nobody wants anything to do with him.
Listen, Lonzo is popular, but he's not the best rookie. He's not the best rookie on his team.
He's not.
He's not the best rookie. He's not top 5.
I think there would be an argument for him being best rookie on his team.
Kyle Kuzma is the best rookie on the team.
I mean,
Kyle Kuzma's better than him, and it's not close.
I mean, he gets rebounds and assists and stuff. He gets his numbers. But
Kyle Kuzma can drop 35 as a rookie.
What is he averaging?
That's a good question.
Because just dropping 35 randomly ain't really too impressive.
It's a good question.
I mean, didn't Brandon Jennings drop 50 as a rookie? And what the fuck happened to him?
Kyle Kuzma is averaging 16 points a game.
Yeah, that's not that impressive.
How is that not impressive for a rookie?
It's not.
Lonzo Ball is averaging 10 points.
Okay, but how many rebounds and assists is he averaging?
He is averaging 10.7 rebounds and 7 assists.
And how many assists and rebounds is Kuzma averaging?
Bro, he's a rookie.
It don't matter. Lonzo Ball is a rookie.
No, bro.
Yeah, you sit there going, how you gonna pull out the rookie card on Kuzma, but then you gonna drop Lonzo Ball as if like, oh well. That's
no,
just
bro. I'm saying that Kyle Kuzma's better than him. Kyle Kuzma averages 6 rebounds and 2 assists.
Yeah, he's not getting any assists.
And 16 points, but it doesn't matter. He's a scorer.
He's not. He's averaging 16 points. That's not a score
for a rookie. It is.
No, it isn't. There's a lot of rookies that come into the league and average like 20-some points.
Please name them.
LeBron. I'm pretty sure KD
greatest
was
of all
up there.
time.
I'm pretty sure
greatest
KD
of all time. Jordan, greatest of all time.
Okay, but still, averaging 16 points as a rookie.
Name someone who isn't a Hall of Famer.
Bro, let me say this. Averaging 16 points as a rookie isn't something I would come out and be like, oh, well, he's a scorer. No, he can develop into a scorer.
Yeah, I would.
He can develop into a scorer, but no.
You're downplaying the NBA right now.
No, I think you're over-exaggerating how important this dude is. Like,
bro, he's averaging 16 points.
16 points is not a
score.
So
the best rookie is Ben Simmons. Hands down.
Okay.
He's averaging also 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Okay, yeah. He's the best of both worlds. I am not going to sing a Disney song, so don't even think about it.
I don't want you to. And then
I was talking to the listeners.
There's old dude that plays for Utah.
Old dirty bastard.
And then there's dude that plays for the Mavericks. And then there's Tatum. Jason Tatum. That plays for Boston. Jason Tatum, he's averaging 13 points and 5 rebounds.
I would like to just experience what it would feel like to be 6'7" for a day.
Bro, we should do a social experiment.
How the hell are we going to do a social experiment?
Bro, you're obviously going to have on long pants.
You trying to say I should get stilts?
Bro, you're going to have on long pants.
So I'd have some long-ass legs and some short arms.
Bro, it has to be some way to where you can look normal.
Some tiny-ass hands.
There's
some small-ass feet.
You would have some small hands. There has to be something that can make you look 6'7" for a day.
There's nothing that you can do. Unless you sit me around a bunch of people that are like 4 feet tall, there's nothing you can do.
How tall are you? Like 5'11"?
I'm 5'10" and a half.
Okay, so 8 inches. You need something to make you look 8 inches taller.
A ruler, I don't know.
Like, no, we can figure that out. It'll be harder with me, nigga. I'm 5'7".
Some 8-inch lifts on my shoes.
Listen, I'm 5'7".
Yeah, but this is my fantasy.
You're right. Nigga, that's a foot for me. Nigga, that's the whole ruler for me, bro. Like, what the fuck? But, like,
y'all can't act like y'all haven't thought about some outlandish shit that will never happen as, like, a fantasy. Everybody
people who are
does
tall
it.
are just winning in life.
Yeah.
For real.
That right there is prejudice. that is your prejudice and your bigoted fucking way of life, because they get all the good stuff and nobody ever addresses this. This is something that needs to be addressed. I'm about to start a damn civil council on this shit. We need to address the unfair advantage that tall people have in life.
For real. You know, they said it's more likely for somebody taller to get promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever notice how in business, like, you just see a bunch of tall ass white dudes? Yeah. Like, and the higher up you get on the ladder, like just a bunch of tall white guys.
I know.
They're winning.
Short. The only short successful guy I know is Tom Cruise. He's 5'5".
Yeah, and he's like really short.
Yeah.
Like, then when you get to like Prince's size, that's when you get to like freakishly short. You get to like nervously scary short.
It's Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is like 5'4". Like,
yeah, that right there would piss me off. If I was short, I would definitely have a short person complex, like a Napoleon complex they call it, I think.
Yeah.
Even though it's weird, because Napoleon was like, what, 5'7"? So
he was mine.
It's kind of funny how people say he was short.
I mean, every once in a while though, I do feel the shortness. Like, but I'm taller than most girls.
Get up, get down with the shortness.
And that's all that matters. I'm 6 inches taller than my wife. That's all that matters. Like, it's easy to find a short girl.
You ever see on Instagram they be having like these memes, and they had this one picture of this like girl. She looked like she was a little bit on the heavier set side. Looked like she was packing on a few pounds. And had said, she had a post that said, if your height doesn't have a 6 in front of it, don't even talk to me. And someone replied and said, if your weight has more than a 200 in front of it, don't even talk to me. Bro. It was just too funny. Because, like
she's fat and wants a 6-foot guy.
Yeah. Like, women act
But we don't want a fat girl.
Yeah, women act like they're too damn demanding. Why the hell do you even care about... Unless you care about how tall your son's going to be. I can see that. But at the same time, a short dad doesn't necessarily mean a short son.
That's true, but because Tyler's tall for his age.
And Michael Jordan, his dad and his mom were not tall. Sometimes that's just in the card. It's genetic. Sometimes you'll grow big, sometimes you won't. That's how it is. You can have a tall father and a tall mom, and they make a short kid. That's possible.
Nah,
It's possible.
I don't think that's possible.
It's definitely possible.
For two giants to make a short kid? I don't think so.
It's happened before.
Michael Jordan's kids are shorter than him, but they're still tall. They're like, what, 6'2"? That's tall. 6 foot is tall, Devon.
Yeah, but I'm talking about it's possible. There have been situations where tall parents have made short kids. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm willing to guarantee that it's happened before.
I think it's highly unlikely. That's all I'm saying. It may have happened before one time in this world. This world's big. It's probably happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's probably
never
happened.
Take anything.
But all the examples that we see that these NBA players are breeding out NBA players.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't happen.
Every time I see a rookie come in that's tall, light skinned, and can dunk, it's like, okay, well, what NBA player gave birth to this?
Who is your dad?
Who gave birth to this future billionaire?
Like, for real.
Bro, I really believe that mixed children are going to be the ideal race. You want to talk about the Aryan race? That right there is your Aryan race right there. We have a bunch of Steph Currys and Blake Griffins. These are a bunch of kids who are freakishly athletic and talented.
And Klay Thompson. Shit's fucking crazy.
That right there. One day you're going to see a damn country come into the Olympics with a bunch of inner race children that are just going to be freaking dominating.
For real.
That right there is the perfect.
Look at Lonzo Ball.
That right there is the
balls in general.
I wouldn't pull them out.
I mean, why?
You already know how I feel about most of the Lonzo Ball fans.
Lonzo's already in the NBA, and LaMelo's.
Lonzo, I will give you respect for. LaMelo is not going to make the NBA.
I'm so glad that you said this.
He's not going to.
I didn't think I'd get you to say this on the podcast.
Oh, I'll definitely talk about it. I have
no
problem.
So let's see. This is what date is this? This is January 20.
Probably 26th, 7th, or 28th.
January 28th. It's actually my son's birthday. Happy birthday, Zarian.
Happy birthday.
It's my son's birthday today. But like, I guarantee you, bro, LaMelo's going to the NBA.
I'm willing to guarantee he's not.
Okay.
Only way LaMelo makes it to the NBA is if he is willing to work on his weaknesses by himself on a Kobe-like level. Like somebody that is in the gym for 12 to 14 hours a day working on his weaknesses.
At this moment, he's not doing that?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm willing to guarantee he's not.
So...
You know why? Because right now in Lithuania it's probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so he's probably just living his life. So I'll win that bet.
No. So it's 2018, right? He's a junior. 16. Let's see. Not next year, not the year after that.
You know why I say
2021.
You know why I say he's not that type of person?
Let's make a bet.
Okay, we can.
This is a 2021 bet.
Okay.
This is a bet from 3 years from now, so it has to be a juicy-ass bet.
Yeah, I'm on. Oh, yeah.
I bet $300 that he's going to the NBA.
I bet $30 that he's not.
Okay.
I say that because I don't know if I'm going to have $300 on me at the time.
In 3 years?
I might, but I don't know.
No.
3 years
You're selling yourself short,
3 years ago, I would not have expected me to be in the situation I'm in now.
No, fuck that. Listen. 3 years from now, you will not only have $300. You would have wished you bet.
Okay, I will bet $300, and if you're willing to accept a payment plan, I will definitely do that.
Okay, all right, I will accept the fucking payment plan.
Okay,
but in 3 years, you will have $300.
Okay,
I guarantee.
Like I said, the reason I believe that he's not that type of player.
Is this bet real though?
Yes, 100% real. Shake on.
We shook on that.
Okay.
LaMelo, you better go to the fucking NBA, or you're taking food out my fucking kid's mouth.
Here we gotta make some stipulations. When we say make the NBA, we don't mean walk on.
Drafted.
Yes.
He has to get drafted.
Yes.
To the NBA.
Not he just happened.
And it doesn't matter what round.
And he made the G League and happened to become on the bottom of some. Happened to be on the bottom of somebody's roster list.
Now we have to get specific. You can get drafted to a team and then play for the G League.
No. Somebody that makes it in the NBA, not somebody that gets drafted.
Oh no! I'm telling you, he's going to the NBA.
No, that right there is too damn iffy because there's a lot of trashy players that make it to the NBA and immediately fall out because they weren't meant to be.
Bro, they're talking about Lonzo going to the G League.
If LaMelo is somebody that you say is on the NBA level, there's no reason he should make the G League. That's not NBA level. If he makes it to the G League, that means that he is.
I disagree, bro. The best player in the G League could play in the NBA.
Maybe.
I think there's politics involved, if you ask me.
I don't. How is there politics
because
involved?
I think that they have to have good players in the G League.
Who's watching G League games?
NBA players.
Okay, NBA players and scouts are watching it. Why? To get players.
Real shit.
If they have a good
You don't
player,
think LeBron doesn't know about the Cavs G League team?
Do you think there's someone on the G League team that makes LeBron worried?
No, I'm saying know about them. He knows they exist.
Okay. And he knows that they aren't worthy enough to be on that roster.
I don't know about that. LeBron complains a lot.
Hey, he does complain a lot. I will give you that. But I do not think that LeBron actually believes that there's someone on the G League team that can go on his team right now and help them become a contender.
No,
not even
but
close.
I'm telling you, LaMelo's going to get drafted by the NBA.
Okay, but I'm saying when you say NBA level, because you can get drafted to the NBA and then immediately go to the G League without even playing the game.
That's true.
That's not NBA level. That means that he's below NBA level and they're trying to work on him.
But if that's the case, they wouldn't draft him, and they would just ask him.
They've drafted a lot of players.
I mean, I know, but like I think that he's going to. Okay, so here's the stipulations, right? I guarantee you that he plays the first NBA game of the season when he gets drafted.
Still, I would say that's too iffy.
Summer League. He has to go past the Summer League.
I would say if he is playing in the NBA
like Lonzo
a
Ball.
year or two after he got drafted.
So right now, Lonzo
He doesn't
Ball,
have to consistently be in the NBA, but he has to be in the NBA. And if he goes to the G League, he has to come back to the NBA. He can't go to the G League and then just leave.
No, I'm not saying
he was never meant to be on that.
No, I'm not saying that. This is what I'm saying. So right now at this moment, if we would have bet on Lonzo Ball 3 years ago, I wouldn't have won the bet yet. By what you just said, I would not have won the bet yet. Because Lonzo Ball, the jury's still out. So basically you're saying...
No, I think Lonzo Ball is an NBA level player.
So by that standard, would I win the bet if he's like Lonzo Ball at this point in the season at the All-Star break?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's shake on it.
Yeah.
Because now I understand the stipulations.
He can't
I will bet on
he
that.
can't play one game and then get called down, or he can't get drafted and get called down.
No. Let me just Google, because we just shook on it. So I'm going to see what game we're on right now in the NBA.
And like I said, the reason why I feel that he is not on the NBA level or won't make the NBA level is because he spent how many years in high school? And
2 years in high school.
His game didn't develop since he became he has a decent 3-point shot, but something tells me he had that ever since middle school.
Probably.
Yeah,
48. There's been 50 games in the NBA. So at game 50, LaMelo will be in the NBA.
The only thing that I've seen on LaMelo develop since he became a media not a personality, but since he got the media's attention, the only thing I've seen improve with him is his dunks. He went from not being able to dunk to barely be able to dunk. That's the only thing I've seen that changed. He had a coach that completely babied him and coddled to him, and he didn't have to improve anything on his game. He never changed anything, really. He doesn't have defense. He doesn't have any type of fundamentals. He doesn't have the mindset.
Okay.
I can't really necessarily say he doesn't have the mindset. I don't know the guy.
He's 16.
But like I said, based on what I've seen, the fact that he hasn't improved as far as defense or fundamentals, to me, says he doesn't have the mindset. Because by now, I can't say by now. He's only been in the high school for 2 years. But to me, he hasn't changed. He has not changed.
let me like change the subject real quick. Let's not like think about the fact that the Spurs are number 3 in the West without any superstar.
I don't care. The Spurs are always going to be where they're at.
But why though? Why are they that good?
Because they sold their soul to the devil back in the day, and they're still cashing
like, bro, why are they number
exchange.
3 in the fucking West? In the West, they're number 3 in the West without Kawhi Leonard.
Hey,
I do not understand this, bro.
That right there could be the conspiracy that everybody's missing. Everybody's focused on Donald Trump and Russia meddling in the election and all this other stuff. And the real conspiracy is Greg Popovich is secretly importing genetically enhanced humans from the Eastern Europe. And...
like, it's crazy.
And he has been cashing in on this serum of super soldiers that nobody is paying attention to. That right there is the conspiracy that nobody's talking about.
That shit is crazy. All right, so basketball's out the way. Let's wrap this up with a final subject.
All right.
We're gonna talk about Marvel.
I was about to say I like to rant about YouTube.
YouTube? You want to talk about YouTube first?
Yes, because it definitely deserves it.
What about YouTube do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk shit about the platform that we're on? The
one
platform
we're on. Because YouTube don't realize that there are alternatives out there. I'm just too lazy to start up on it. But if they piss me off enough, I will get enough motivation to finally do something different.
Notice, ladies and gentlemen, how he's saying I don't know anything about this yet, but I guess I'm coming with him. So
yes, if I decide to go to a new platform, you're coming too.
Yeah, okay. All right, sure. Fuck it. I'm coming too.
Yeah, the reason why my channel, I'm not sure if I've said this on the other video or not, but the reason I haven't uploaded on my channel is because my entire channel got demonetized. And it's not even the issue about money or anything like that, because let's be real, I only have 700 some subscribers. My videos aren't going to be pulling in enough money to even really get any type of money out of it at all. I'd be lucky to get like $100 in a year. So,
but with positive thinking,
I mean,
and hard work,
it's possible. But like I said, it's not about the money. It's the fact that when a video gets when a video gets demonetized, the one thing YouTube does is it makes it so that it's not a priority when people search up that topic. So if I react to a Try Not to Laugh challenge, my Try Not to Laugh challenge isn't going to be anywhere near like a spot where it would get people's attention. The only way you're going to find my videos is if you already subscribe to me, or if you happen to be watching my videos and maybe it'll pop up in the suggestions, or you go to my channel and actually look at the videos I've uploaded. So YouTube is really killing a lot of people's opportunities to like become noticed, because they demonetize you for every stupid thing, from cussing to having a snippet of somebody's videos in your video, because I do reactions, and there's a lot of people that do reactions, but for some reason my channel had to be completely shut down. Or not shut down, but had to be completely demonetized because I broke the terms and conditions, despite the fact that you got fucking Logan Paul fucking doing Try Not to Appear Alive challenges and shit. And you have PewDiePie
saying nigger.
Yeah,
but what do they both have in common?
They're both very popular and rich.
And white.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's all white, because there are black reactors that haven't had their channel shut down, but they have subscribers. That's the thing. They have subscribers.
But I think Logan Paul and PewDiePie are definitely, like, babied in the shit that they do. Like,
well, like I said, that to me,
but like both of them did some like really controversial shit.
And
I just think that it's different. Yeah, I just think that it's personally different if somebody black would have done that shit. I'm sorry.
I think that the public would have thought of them differently.
Yeah, if somebody black,
I don't think YouTube would have done too much differently.
Listen, they killed David Chappelle about transsexual jokes.
That we don't know how deep that was. That was a
oh no, I didn't even see the special. I only saw the backlash.
And also that falls into that whole like feminist / social justice warrior bullshit that I don't fall into, and it irritates me. Like I said, I'm a liberal. I believe that everybody should have all the civil rights that are entitled to them, and there should be nobody that has any issues with like trying to get something that everybody else has. Everybody deserves the right to be married to whoever the fuck they want to be married to. Everybody deserves the right to love whoever the fuck they want to love. But the second you get into a point where it's like, oh, well, you made a joke about something that slightly affects me, so now I'm offended, despite the fact that I was laughing at all your other goddamn jokes. Yeah, you can go eat a dick for that, because as far as I'm concerned, you're a piece of shit. Like, learn to take a joke, and that's the bottom line.
I definitely agree, and I just had to do that. I know you're looking at me.
Yeah, he just took a selfie of himself, which has me looking at him sideways, like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm sending my wife, actually, a picture of my hair, because she wanted to know how it looked just back for a second.
Oh,
so I just sent her a picture.
Isn't that cute?
No,
but it's wrong.
She wanted to see a picture of my hair. Like, it's...
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's not cute.
She wanted a picture of your hair.
It's not cute.
I get it.
She just wanted to see, like, just natural, my hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, you were still
ranting about YouTube. You have Logan Paul and you have PewDiePie doing all this bullshit, but only reason why they even get, like, challenged on the bullshit they post is because the media picks up on it and they make this big-ass shitstorm, and then YouTube has to come out and, like, well behind the fact, make an argument to make themselves look good. What I don't get is, why doesn't YouTube create a rating system that the users and the uploaders can, like, categorize themselves with? YouTube won't have to do anything extra. Like, all you have to do is when you upload a video, make it so that you can select what audience this video is for. And then when the advertiser chooses to put their videos on YouTube or Google AdSense or whatever the fuck they want to do it on, just list what audiences you want to view your ad.
But isn't that putting the companies at like an inconvenience?
No, just select,
because you're making them now, instead of them coming straight to YouTube with their product, now they have to choose which rating they want their product.
Yeah, but here's the issue though. They are going to bitch and complain if they find out that their video is on something that they don't want it to be associated with. So in the end, that person is going to end up losing all their money because an advertiser found out that their shit was on something that YouTube should have, like, come up with a way of identifying. So, like, you got these people that they don't, like, for instance, somebody might not want, like, somebody might have a toy commercial that they want to advertise on YouTube, but then it ends up on a video about some rant about feminism or some shit. And now they're offended because, like, they feel like, oh, well, it's hurting our audience. And it's like, well, why don't you let that user, like, why don't YouTube come up with a system where the user can identify what their video is about? Okay, this video has excessive language and it has some suggestive sexual themes or something like that, or this video is intended for mature audiences or something like that. And that way, when the advertiser is trying to get their stuff on the internet, it's like, okay, well, I want my stuff to appear on videos that are categorized for teenagers, mature audiences, and adults. That way, kids, it won't appear on videos that are classified for kids. It won't appear on videos classified for, like, young, like, everyone or anything like that. And everybody would be able to save face. If somebody lies about their videos, identification or whatever, like whatever it's categorized as, YouTube can specifically go to that person and, you know, do whatever you want with them because they fucked up. But why punish everybody for the shit that PewDiePie and Logan Paul does?
That's how the fuck it happens. Like back to, like, my job, like, the reason why rules happen when my department is because agents fuck up shit. Like, so
yeah, but
agents
you can go
have
to a
to now
specific agent.
Raise their hand to do shit. Like, now agents can't transfer customers to certain departments because they were fucking up so long. So now they have to raise their hand and ask somebody in management to transfer a call because they've been fucking up so much. It starts with the people messing up.
Yeah, but that's not something that truly affects the agent's income. Like that's just a rule change. That's not like.
Oh no, that doesn't affect the income.
Like when
I'm just saying, when somebody
it,
messes up,
it's affecting. Stuff changes. It's affecting people's income and it's affecting people's ability to create an audience for themselves. The reason why we created our YouTube channel, we've already said, is because we wanted to create a community of people that are like us, and we wanted to make it a huge community. Also, I wanted to also create a big community because I feel like YouTube is a great way to come up with experiences that you wouldn't normally be given. Like a lot of times, if you want to be like, if you want to get into video editing, or if you want to become a producer or anything like that, you have to have some type of degree, or you got to have experience in your back catalog. You have to have worked on something, or you have to have done something. YouTube gives people an opportunity to create an experience that they can put on their resume. Like I created a channel, I maintained the channel, I took care of all the advertising revenue, I took care of the community, I have a giant community of people that support me, I have a fan base, I have a brand that you can already use, that's already established. You don't have to create a brand for me. Like YouTube gives people a chance to really like become their own, or really become the benefit of their own creation.
Okay. I mean, I don't know about the rating system thing because, like I said, no. I agree with your idea. I don't think it'll ever happen. How about that? Because YouTube's not going to do that. They're not going to. They're going to continue doing shit the way that they want to do it because technically, YouTube, they really don't have to pay people. Like let's be real.
If they have advertisers, they have to pay people.
Oh, no. They have to pay people, but that's not what YouTube is about. They don't. I don't think that they like Apple Music. They know they have to pay their artists.
Well, let me put it this way: if YouTube thinks that they're so high and mighty to the point where they can do whatever the fuck they want, there are already alternatives that you can go out there
and they're Google.
To.
They're Google. And they technically can do what they want. They own the world.
They're part of Google, but they're not part of YouTube. YouTube is the one coming up with these bullshit policies, and Google isn't. I mean, even though they're the same company, YouTube is the one that's coming up with the bullshit. Because there's other video streaming services and video upload services that are out there that don't have anywhere near as complicated of things to like.
There are other video upload services.
Yeah. They don't have as big of a following as YouTube, but mark my words, if YouTube keeps on doing what they're doing, people are going to leave. And YouTube is going to become the next MySpace. Once they come up with once there's another video once there's another video uploading service that develops a following, it's only natural that content creators are going to leave to the
shots fired
easier one. Like, why waste my time with YouTube?
You gonna let him call you MySpace, bro? He just called you MySpace, bro.
YouTube came up with a rule. YouTube
called you MySpace.
YouTube came up with a rule just recently that changed, that made it where you couldn't, like, if your video became demonetized, you couldn't, like, make a review as to why it got demonetized until it gets 1,000 views. I'm not sure if that's necessarily new, because I believe the new rule is something about 1,000 subscribers.
We demonetize your shit, and guess what? You can't do shit until enough people watch it to where we give a fuck.
Yeah, so like, let's say you're a small channel that maybe averages like 500 views a video. They demonetize your video, so not only does that mean you can't get money off of it, but it also means that most people aren't going to see it because it's demonetized. And because most people aren't going to see it, it's not going to make over 1,000 views, so you will never be able to monetize that video. You'll just have that video.
It's sad, but like,
and I guarantee YouTube is still making money off those videos.
Yeah, it's sad, but like I said, what other? You know what though? Apple Music though, they pay a lot per view. At least I've heard that they're the best.
Yep.
With paying their creators.
Yeah, I need to just become a musician Fuck it.
No, you can do a podcast. It's the same shit. We could put the podcast on Apple Music.
I didn't know Apple Music had podcasts. I know iTunes.
What?
I know iTunes had podcasts. I thought Apple Music was just a.
Oh no! That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's Apple though. It's still the same shit.
Oh.
Like it's still the same.
Well, yeah.
iTunes.
There's a lot of places
shit.
we can upload this podcast to. It's just the reason why I'm not doing that yet is because I don't feel like we have necessarily come down with a solid schedule to put these things down at a reasonable time. Like we need a specific date or a specific day that we upload podcasts, like a Friday or a Thursday or something like that.
I don't know. If somebody comments on this shit and says something, then yeah, we can do it.
All right.
But okay, final note. That's something that we're gonna have. A final note. Final
Like,
subject.
kind of like Monica's tip of the day.
No.
You don't know Monica, do you?
I don't know what the fuck Monica is. But like,
Doki Doki Literature Club, man. Get into it.
Alright, final note. We're in this note on Marvel. I'm excited as fuck.
You gonna end a note on an entirely new topic?
Yeah. The final note is Marvel. I'm excited as fuck about Black Panther. I think Black Panther is going to be amazing. I think Black Panther is going to be literally like not even like fucking joking. I think Black Panther is going to be like probably one of the best Marvel movies. Like I think Black Panther is going to replace our love for Captain America.
I think that
I think that they're going to kill off Captain America in Civil War.
I think that Black Panther is going to. Well, they already did Civil War.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Infinity War. I apologize. They're going to kill Captain America in Infinity War.
But, I think Black Panther is going to be a movie that is going to be able to somewhat rival the Captain America.
Not somewhat. Is.
I say somewhat.
The
first one, I don't know if it's going to go up there. If they make another one, then yeah. The first one, I'm not sure if it is.
Well, the first one, they're going to have to tell a story and shit, you know.
And it doesn't, and nobody really knows anything about Black Panther.
And Black
Captain
Panther
America has a way bigger following than Black Panther.
That's true. And Black Panther is actually already in the middle of something really big. like the first movie is already going to lead into Infinity War, so it's already going to lead into something huge. Also, let me talk about Infinity War real quick. It's going to be the greatest movie of all time. The greatest superhero movie of all time. If it's not the greatest superhero movie of all time, it's a bust. Yes, I said it. If it's not the greatest superhero movie of all time,
what, Black Panther?
No.
Oh,
Infinity War. If it's not the greatest superhero movie of all time, it's a bust. Hands down. It's either this or bust. I don't give a fuck. It's either the championship or a bust. It's the Warriors. It's the fucking Golden State Warriors.
Pretty much. I mean, I wish DC was in a similar position, but they're not.
They're not. DC can come out with shitty movies for the next 2 years.
Yeah, DC is like completely fucked up their entire.
They just need to kill everybody and start over.
Yeah, they need to get a new director and just make a whole new universe.
They do, and still make keep Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is a hit. So somehow keep Wonder Woman, but start that shit over too.
Yeah.
It's sad.
And Henry Cavill is a decent Superman. I don't think you need to get rid of him.
Keep Superman.
It's just...
Get rid of Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, Martha. Mm-hmm. Why did you say that name? Mm-hmm. At least he doesn't have the
because that's my fucking mom.
At least he doesn't have the weird-ass voice. Imagine Christian Bale. Why did you say that name?
You want to know something?
Why did you say Martha?
While we're talking shit, I like Aquaman too. So, like, I don't know.
My man. All right.
All right. Aquaman. Down south.
Yeah.
Aquaman's from the south, for real. But, like, yeah, I definitely want them to know on Marvel. Like, yeah. So, we're in the note on Marvel.
This podcast almost went 2 hours. We really did something we weren't expecting to do.
Yeah. And that's what podcasts are supposed to do.
Right now, we're in overtime. Shit.
Yeah,
we're way in overtime.
That's what podcasts are supposed to do. So, my predictions for Black Panther, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I think it's going to... First off, it has to replace Captain America because I have a theory that they're going to kill him off. Like, not only is this my strong theory, I can almost guarantee it's going to happen. Because I've heard that the guy that plays Captain America's contract is up after Civil War. But then again, Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is up too, I think. But he's already said he's not making any more Iron Mans. So, I personally think Marvel's about to blow this shit up. I think that Infinity War, they kill off everybody.
Me personally, I don't get why people tend to get so, like, stuck on, like, I don't want to be typecast, so I'm not going to play this character for a long time. And don't get me wrong, I understand that some people, when they become so famous in a certain role, they can't really get acting gigs in other roles. But, like, if you're a good enough actor, you can suspend that level of disbelief, I believe.
Will Smith, I don't see him as Deadshot. Like, I don't see Will Smith as Deadshot.
To be fair, Will Smith was already established before he played Deadshot. If anything, when you see Deadshot, you see Will Smith.
That's true.
So,
I see.
Like, Robert Downey Jr., he did have a career before Iron Man, but Iron Man was his revival, like his introduction to a whole new generation of people.
But Robert Downey Jr. also played.
Really see him as.
He's also Sherlock Holmes.
Come on now.
I mean, listen.
Come on now.
Listen. They made two.
Bro,
of them.
Don't get me wrong.
They made two of them.
When you see Sherlock Holmes, you see Tony Stark. That's what you see.
I do see Tony Stark playing Sherlock Holmes.
Like I said, yes, I understand that that's it, but at the same time, you know, like
after this though, Robert Downey Jr. Oh, and he played in Tropic Thunder.
Don't overkill the role. Like, oh, I'm gonna play Iron Man, and then I'm gonna play on the Iron Man TV show, and then I'm gonna have the Iron Man special, and I'm gonna have an Iron Man Christmas album come out.
Don't show up in any Netflix Marvels either. Don't do that.
And showing up at all the Comic-Cons dressed as Iron Man, it's like, okay, yeah, you identify too much as him.
Yeah.
But if you have a movie come out once every like 4 years or so, and you're Iron Man, as long as you're doing stuff in between, hey, I think you can pull it off.
That's true. But listen, Infinity War is going to be the greatest movie of all time, or it's a bust. Captain America's going to die. Oh, Iron Man's going to die too. I'm sorry. Iron Man, Captain America's going to die. Black Panther, they're going to start rebooting them. One of the Guardians of the Galaxy might die. Humans are going to die. I don't know if it's going to be.
So you just have like a episode.
Hawkeye.
So you have like an episode 3 idea to this movie, like just everybody just dies. This is the when Star Wars Episode 3 first was like coming out. Everybody said like, oh, this is going to be the bloodiest Star Wars ever. Everybody is going to die in it, and for the most part, a lot of people did. So you're thinking that this is pretty much what that is.
Oh hell yeah, hell yes, bro. Thanos is. Listen, bro, they cannot have Thanos come in and play no fucking game. If Thanos comes and he makes a fucking joke, bro, they would be mad as fuck. Thanos is going to come and not play no games, bro.
That is that's Marvel's weakness. They always tend to ruin serious moments with
I guarantee you Thanos ends the fucking jokes, bro.
Somebody call his ass a California raisin or some shit. Like.
Listen, Thanos is going to end the fucking jokes, bro. They're going to kill niggas. They're going to kill niggas.
Real talk. I kill niggas.
Real talk. I kill niggas. But like, no. Vision died in the fucking trailer. like, let's be real, bro. Vision was dead in the fucking trailer. When they take that Infinity Stone out his fucking head, bro, I do not see how he exists.
Anyway, let's go ahead.
How does he fucking exist? How you not gonna answer my question,
bro? I can't answer it because I don't know too much about that shit. Like, okay, took the Infinity Stone out of his head. Okay,
should he live?
Did the Infinity Stone technically give him life? I don't know.
I think it powers his body, yes. Vision is still a machine.
I mean, but wasn't the whole thing they, wasn't, Ultron or whatever going to put his consciousness inside that body?
Did it technically fall like that? He needed the stone.
I think so. He needed the stone.
I mean, to be more powerful, but did that mean he needed it to live in that body? I just took it as like a whole nother body he was going to take over.
Ultron, I thought, had an Infinity Stone too, though.
No, Ultron himself didn't have Infinity Stone.
Oh, no, Ultron didn't.
Like I said, I thought it was just going to be like another body for him to take over, but with the Infinity Stone, it was just going to make him powerful. I assume Vision works the same way. He was just an AI system that downloaded his consciousness to this new body, and it happens to have an Infinity Stone, so now he's a superhero. Like that's it.
Oh, so you think, okay, maybe.
Like maybe he becomes a sideline character and just cheers the heroes on from the sides or something.
That's true.
You'll see him on the side in one of his cardigans and his khakis, looking like a damn dad from Dexter's Laboratory, and you know.
Who's the dude with Captain America? The black guy with the wings.
Falcon.
Falcon's gonna die too. I forgot about that.
Is his name Falcon?
Yeah, it's Falcon. Falcon's gonna die too. I forgot about that.
So anybody with no legitimate superpowers is just dead.
Bro, listen. Listen. I can tell you who's gonna survive.
So,
Black Panther, Spider-Man.
So unless you're a metahuman,
Thor.
You're dead.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And the only reason why Captain America is gonna die, because, bro, I seriously think he should have died in Civil War, but now they're just going to do it this time.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, he should have died in Civil War, bro, so he's going to die this time. Bucky's going to die. Bucky might die, too.
They could have done better with some of that story. Like, it felt like Civil War was rushed too much into one movie. That storyline could have been stretched to a couple of movies.
You think so?
Yeah, they could have made like an entire arc. Like they could have made a trilogy just off of that story arc alone.
They had to get to Infinity War.
They waited like 15 years already. They could have waited a couple more years.
People wanted Infinity War. People wanted fucking Infinity War.
People wanted Infinity War back in 2008.
And Infinity War, didn't they say that it was just going to be one movie? Now it's back to two movies.
No, I thought they always said it was two movies.
But then I thought they said they scrapped the second movie for next year.
I don't know. I just know. I'm pretty sure that I've always heard there was two movies. I don't know as far as like release dates and stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We gave you guys a full podcast. We weren't really expecting to, so you're welcome. That's fucked up,
right.
But yeah, I'm actually glad that we were able to like do this because I really didn't think we would have time to do it, but you know, we just kept talking and hoped that everybody would just like, if we pretended we ignored everybody around us, we could get more time in, and it seemed like that worked. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. This is Devon Da Vinci. If you like this podcast, make sure you hit that like button to let us know if you want to see more of it. Be sure to comment down below to let us know if you want us to do these 2-hour podcasts, or you know, if you're cool with just a 1-hour podcast, but maybe we could do more 1 hours. I don't know.
I'm changing my name to Tyler.
Tyler the Creator.
No, not Tyler the Creator. Like, I'm just Tyler.
Bro, I can't be Devon Da Vinci, the original Renaissance man, next to Tyler. You gotta have something.
But like I might be just growing out of it. Like, I might just have to come up with something else. Like, but
make up a last name. Tyler something.
why can't I just be Tyler? The Tyler.
I don't think it's gonna
Truth.
stick. I don't think it's gonna stick, kid.
Truth. But yeah, I'm King Draco for now.
Yeah. And make sure you share this podcast. Be sure to check us out, right here on YouTube, and maybe in the future you'll see us in other areas where podcasts are provided. But until then, that has been our podcast, and we will see you guys on the next one. Possibly, we'll give you the deuces from an audio standpoint. Deuces. Had to make some noise because I don't know if you can hear the deuces. So there you go.
Get a job.